Stay till the morning.
Good morning, everyone. So I just got back from a windy walk, which felt so good. Here's where we're at. Quick little life update is our part-time nanny, who literally feels like family, moved. And she has been with us since Violet was, I think, 1.5. So it has been so sad because it's like, even though it's part-time help, it's just such a big help. There's that love, there's that trust, there's that friendship for me and Violet. Like, me and Jared were talking about this. It was like Violet's first heartbreak that we had to let her know that, you know, she'll be moving and no longer coming here anymore. And it was just, the past few months have been so sad because I was like, how am I gonna tell her? Like, how am I gonna, you know, bring it up? Because she let us know ahead of time. We were able to start to plant the seed with Violet. Like, I was looking up all these parenting things and like, you know, how do I talk about it with her? Now she's officially moved and I don't have the part-time help with my daughter. And so during this time, I've been really practicing, like, I don't want to say I'm ever going to give up coffee, but all week I haven't been having coffee because I noticed that I need so mumuch more energy to work, to clean up the house, to cook, to be with Violet. She's not in school or anything, so we're together all day and doing activities, play dates. Like, we literally have a blast. But I've been switching to matcha in the morning. I've been hearing so many people say they get better energy from matcha because it's not as strong as coffee, like the caffeine in it. So instead of getting like a spike from coffee where maybe you feel really energized, but then during the afternoon you have your slump, I can't have that with a very high energy 3-year-old. So I've been having matcha in the morning. I make it with oat milk. I'll show you guys how I do it. And I feel like it's a game changer. You don't have to give up coffee completely. Maybe you start with an afternoon matcha. Maybe you just have matcha some mornings and coffee other mornings to kind of like get in the habit of it. But guys, I make it taste really yummy and it's really cozy. I have my pot here and shake it up a little bit. This is, oh shoot, I spilled it. This is unsweetened oat milk. I just like the taste of a really like oaty oat milk. Like, I don't like any of the vanillas or anything like that, but that's just me. Wow, I really made a mess. Now we're gonna heat that up until it boils. And I am going to be using Peak Matcha. This is the only matcha I use. I'm leaving for New York in 2 days and I'm bringing the whole box. I actually have a couple boxes, so I might end up just leaving one there since we go back and forth New York and Florida. But this is why I love it. 0 prep time. So in the past, when I would use matcha, I'd have to pour it out, whisk it, and do all of that. Whereas this one, it comes in a packet and it is ceremonial grade. So I always talk about this on my channel, but when you buy matcha, you wanna make sure it's ceremonial grade so that you get the antioxidants and you get the benefits. You don't want it to be bacon grade. Yeah, so many of the podcasts I listen to, they're like, when you have matcha in your diet, it can slow down aging, give you energy. And I'm just like hearing all this like, okay, why did I ever become a coffee drinker? Okay, so now it's boiling. So see how fast that was? Because it's not a lot of milk. So it's not like you're sitting here all morning like, I need something. I'm gonna turn that off. I'm going to pour a packet. And if you make iced matcha with Peak, it's even easier, which I usually have as an afternoon drink. Looks like that. So once it's all frothed nice and beautifully, this is when I add cinnamon, and this gives it more of a fall kind of taste. And I prefer maple syrup over honey in matcha, taste-wise. My husband's always very impressed the way I pour this. Do it so often that I just don't spill. It's the best. Like, it's seriously so tasty. Try it. Just do this challenge. Try matcha for a week instead of coffee. Just try it for a week and just say, okay, what do I have to lose? You might have better sleep, you might have better skin, you might have more energy in the afternoon. That like anxious feeling that sometimes you can get with coffee, you don't get with matcha, or at least I don't. And this is the matcha moment that I am always talking about with you guys, where I just come outside, it's nice and windy, it's that chilly weather, and I just enjoy my matcha while my daughter and husband are riding bikes. So if you guys want to give Peak Sun Goddess Matcha a try, click the link in my description box and you guys can get 15% off plus a free chargeable frother and a cup when you click the link in my description. You don't have to use a code or anything, just click the link and it auto applies. So I will leave that down below. Okay, I just took that sweatshirt off. It is all over me, like all the little fuzzies. So note to self, if you're gonna wear that sweatshirt, because it has matching sweatpants and I love that look. Like I love a sweatshirt sweatpant look. Don't wear black underneath. Anyway, I came in here to show you guys, I am obsessed with the Juice Beauty, is it a CC cream? Yeah, CC cream. I was using it for a while, then I stopped because of the color, but it's a little light for me. But then when I used the darker one, it was too dark, so I'm kind of like in between colors. I'm gonna film a sit down for you guys later today, all about how healthy habits I no longer am doing. So I filmed so many videos for you guys, healthy habits that I do daily, whatever, but I haven't done healthy habits I stopped doing. So I'm gonna film that later, but that's what I use as my foundation. So it's really lightweight, it's really dewy. I'm obsessed. This episode of Oztober, I want to talk about healthy habits I am no longer doing anymore. Keep in mind, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a natural or holistic practitioner or anything like this. I have seen all of these people though, and have made a plan for myself, and these are the things that I'm no longer doing anymore. And I want to have a video just sitting in one spot talking about this, because if you've seen my most recent vlogs, you know we've been talking all about hormone health and balancing hormones and all of that, and I feel like I'm making progress. And the reason why I feel like that is because how this whole thing even started for me, that I even knew I had a hormone imbalance, was we were going to the Bahamas in May, and I always plan trips around my periods, and I started to know in that moment that I had a hormone imbalance because my period was taking so long to come. Everyone was like, oh, it's stress from going on a trip and packing and getting work done beforehand. And then it happened again and again and again. And my period cycles were like getting to be, I think my longest cycle was like 39 days, which is way too long. And I had no idea I even had a hormone imbalance because my skin has never been better. My hair grows long and healthy. And the last time I had a hormone imbalance in my life, like years ago, my skin was breaking out. It was like more of the obvious signs. So now I wasn't having more of the obvious signs except my period length getting longer. I completely changed everything in my life. And last month I had a healthy length cycle, and a little on the long side, but a lot healthier. And then I got my period today, and today makes 30 days. So that's perfect for me. I've always been like between 32 to when I conceived my daughter, I think I even had a 35-day cycle, but I've always been like in that range, which is where my doctor wanted to see me. So, and regardless what anybody says to me, I always do my own research too. So I got this book, Women Code, and this helped so much. I definitely recommend everybody read this. So the first thing is no more HIIT workouts. So for the most part, I do Pilates anyway, but there is one class that incorporates a more HIIT style. And the reason why you don't want to do that, according to my acupuncturist and in this book as well, is because it can put stress on your body, is the role of the stress hormone cortisol. So a lot of us just think, or at least for me, I just always thought, okay, if I lower my stress in my life, okay, I don't get so stressed about this, I don't get so stressed about being on time, I don't get so stressed about the traffic and gotta get there fast. Like, I always thought that was more getting a handle on your stress. I didn't know that putting your body through these intense workouts could also be stress. The next one I gave up is anything with fragrance in it, but even things that seem healthy. Like, there are healthier alternatives to your laundry detergent but still have fragrance, right? Like, we all know the brands, they're sold at Whole Foods and they say that they're, you know, chemical free, but if they have fragrance in them, apparently they're not chemical free, because fragrance itself is chemical. So when I need like oil on my legs or lotion or whatever, I just wear coconut oil. And in the shower for soap, I use the same thing I give my daughter, which is a fragrance-free baby brand. I use that as well. I did switch to an all-natural aluminum-free deodorant, but I do think that there is some fragrance in that. So I would say that I'm not 100% no fragrance, but there's no fragrance in my laundry detergent. I just use Branch Basic. I gave up perfume, and I never thought I'd see the day that I gave up perfume. I didn't feel comfortable using it until I saw my period cycles moving in the right direction. And I just thought, I'm gonna give up everything cold turkey and go completely like basic, minus that whatever's in my deodorant, and see how it goes. And look, these last 2 months, I've had a normal period cycle. Like, isn't that interesting? My next one, I don't remember if it was in this book, as well, but this was a big thing with my acupuncturist. So when I was getting acupuncture done, she let me know that there was some homework she wanted me to do, like tracking my cycle so we could actually see the period, what it's doing. So that was the first thing that was my homework, and also to give up cold things while we're working on it. She does not like iced water. She doesn't like cold smoothies. She's like, you could still drink smoothies, and she thinks that that's a great way to get in all your nutrients, but they should be room temperature. Don't use like iced fruits and veggies, and it could disrupt your digestive system. I'm such a smoothie girl. I don't use frozen. I don't like to buy frozen fruit and veggies. I like to use all fresh things we get at the farmer's market, and that's how I make my smoothies. So for the most part, the smoothies at my house are not iced. The next one I gave up, this was something that all doctors agreed on across the board, from my acupuncturist, holistic coach, going the more natural route, to even my endocrine doctor, because I just thought, you know, I'll test my thyroid and all that, see if that's good. They all agreed with this one, and that is how much gluten can disrupt your hormones. Gluten and dairy, but especially gluten for women's hormones. My endocrine doctor doesn't as well, and his thing with it is that it causes so much inflammation in the body. He sees a lot of his patients go on a gluten-free diet, and that helps with brain fog and other things that maybe you're still dealing with a hormone issue, but maybe that afternoon slump had nothing to do with that. It had more to do with your diet and the food you're eating. Since I've been going gluten-free, like, I just don't get tired in the afternoon anymore. It's interesting, because normally I would have a sandwich, a tuna sandwich with my daughter. I replace that with either I'll have gluten-free bread or I will have rice cakes. No afternoon slump, no brain fog. Some of these things are just free things you can do, because I'm gonna tell you something, going to all these doctors is very expensive. Going the natural route can be very expensive, like seeing an acupuncturist, seeing a holistic coach or naturopath, whatever. They could be more expensive, and some of the things they're gonna tell you are these diet changes. So if I can give any free advice, I like to. Obviously, you might still need to get blood work, you might still need to actually go see somebody, but it's nice to also implement some free tips too. The next one, I feel like a lot of people think that this is really healthy. I know I thought that this was really healthy, and maybe for some people it can be, but if you're dealing with hormone issues, it's worth giving a shot. My holistic coach said when you are dealing with weird period cycles, she doesn't like eggs. And so before working with her, I had to fill out like what I was having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So she specifically was talking about eggs, because I wrote that down. That was a consistent breakfast I was having every single morning, because I already make a hard-boiled egg for my daughter. So I just thought, okay, I'm gonna make eggs for myself. So I think that that's why she pointed it out specifically, but she said give up the eggs, that eggs are already hormonal, that eggs are filled with hormones, and that if you are having hormone issues, give up things that can raise your estrogen or something like that. I really don't have all the information and like all the technical terms, but I just listened to her and gave them up. And here we are with a better period cycle. So I know I'm giving you guys so much information of habits I'm no longer doing anymore, but once you get into the routine, it's really not that many things. It's like, okay, I just don't have eggs for breakfast. Okay, I just don't have a nice smoothie. Okay, I'm not buying expensive perfume anymore. Okay, so those are all the things that I stopped doing. Now I'll just show you the supplements that my holistic doctor and acupuncturist recommended, along with the probiotic that I'm already taking, but that's nothing new. I've literally been taking the same probiotic since 2021. I take the one by seed. So really quick, I'll just go through what I'm taking. Obviously, don't just take something you see somebody post. Do your own research, ask and check your doctor. The first from my holistic coach, I've never even heard of this brand. It's called Global Healing, and this is called Hormone Balance, and it's basically just like a couple of different things in one to help your hormones. A little tincture. It's cool that some of the things in here I already read about in this book, such as organic wild yam, chaste tree, organic maca root, ashwagandha. Another tincture that this is just ashwagandha, and you want to mix it with lemon balm to get the best results, is what my holistic doctor recommended. Now, all of these things I stopped taking every single day, and I do just take a couple times a week. Zinc is really important for the immune system and just overall health, so I'm also taking that as well. Vitamin Code Raw B Complex, so this is basically just all my B vitamins. So I hope that this video helped you guys out. If anybody else is dealing with hormonal issues, I get it. Like, I truly get it. I get like not feeling like yourself, waiting to get your period, knowing something's wrong, but then getting okay blood work that doesn't show that anything is like crazy wrong. Once again, why it's so important to always listen to your body. And yeah, I hope you you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.